Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog. This is going to be one of those vlogs where I engage in a little bit of wishful thinking and just like to think that somebody important has been watching my vlog because it happens when somebody has an idea that I already had, that I suggested in an earlier vlog, and then I wake up one day, I read the news, and somebody is doing it. And that is what happened today. This is one of those days. This is about Parler. Parler, as you know, was deplatformed. They were taken off the internet by their former service, Amazon Web Services. They were taken off. Well, they're back. I had said in an earlier vlog, Parler really needs to set up its own system, not have to be serviced by an outside service that could just take them off anytime for any reason or for no reason at all, since they're private companies. I suggested that Parler do that, and it looks like Parler is doing that. They are doing that, and they are going even farther than I suggested. So I'll give you the headline, and I'll read you a little bit of the article that the headline is to. So here we go. Here's the headline. Parler interim CEO says conservatives need complete tech ecosystem to avoid being canceled. That's the important part. Complete tech ecosystem, their own separate system that has nothing to do with any other service. So they are their own service. And I had suggested in my earlier vlog, I hope this will also occur, that the service be open to other people, to other platforms that have to worry about being taken off the internet. I would mention one person in particular, Donald Trump, started his own Trump website, trump.com or whatever, and be able to be on the internet all the time and not have to fear being taken off. But as you'll see when I read a little bit of this article, this vision that this CEO, his name is Mark Meckler, his vision goes even beyond what I was suggesting. So let me just give you some quotes from the article, and then you'll understand the whole thing. Parler interim CEO Mark Meckler has been instrumental in bringing the social media platform back online after it was removed from Amazon Web Services, the Google Play Store, and the Apple App Store last month. Quoting Meckler now, quote, "I've been thinking about during all this cancellation what we have to do as conservatives or libertarians or just anybody who believes in free speech to protect ourselves in an online world, because we live in a time when if people decide they're going to send the woke mob after you, you can get canceled or unpersoned. And so people like us needed to, and like me too, by the way, I have that problem on YouTube. I have to be careful what I say about the November 3rd election, right? I can have, at best, my video taken down, at worst, my whole channel taken down. But getting back to Meckler here, quote, "And so people like us needed a way to be safe and secure online, and that involves a project I'm working on called The Stack, which is building everything we need from cloud-hosted servers all the way to the ground. That, and this is the innovation that I hadn't thought of, that includes email service providers and customer resource management providers, includes banking and merchant accounts, everything you would need to survive online so that you can't be deplatformed," unquote. Meckler expounded on the immense complexity required to build an independent system. Quote, "There's all the mechanisms that are required to protect you from the online attacks that are taking place constantly. There's things like the merchant banking that has to be plugged in, the ability to take credit cards for advertisers, all of this stuff. All these layers of technology had to be redone." But he's talking about Apple now going forward. He's trying to get back onto Apple because, this is important, so pay attention to this, quote, Apple took their app off of their website. Quote, "I'm hopeful," unquote, "that Apple will let Parler back on the App Store," Meckler said. "One of the things that we've been able to demonstrate conclusively in the public sphere," you've probably seen this, Forbes magazine did an analysis, and really Parler had nothing to do with what happened on January 6th. That was the excuse for a political hit job, unquote. So what he's saying is they showed that the reason that Amazon, for one, took them off of their service was because they were blaming Parler, saying they had something to do with January 6th, the protest, the occupation of the Capitol temporarily by protesters. It was not an insurrection, it was just an occupation by protesters. But they were trying to blame Parler for that, and they just willy-nilly just on a whim took them off their service. And then they got taken off of iTunes and Google Play. So what's interesting here, well, here's the next quote. Quote, the majority of anything that's negative took place on Facebook was the number one. YouTube was number two. Instagram. So that was a hit job. And I think Apple understands that. So right now, yeah, we expect and we hope that we'll be back up with Apple shortly, unquote. As of now, Parler is only available to current users, but will probably be allowing new accounts next week, Meckler added. You see the double standard here. That's why I wanted to mention that one little bit, because nobody is taking down Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. It's just, and if they have apps, they're still available as far as I know. I'm an old guy. I don't know all this stuff. I don't know if there's an app for Facebook or not. I imagine there is. But if there is, I'm sure it is still up on Google Play and Apple. Just Parler, because it's a conservative website. So this is what I'm saying is really good news. If I got anything else here? Nope, that's it. So, he's also worried about, he says right here, and it's not just for Parler, it's not just for websites. Quote, I'm worried about our banking system, unquote, Meckler said. Quote, significantly more and more banks are refusing, for example, to serve gun sellers or gun manufacturers, ammunition providers. So I'm worried about the safety and security of the banking system. That includes credit card companies and those who process credit cards. They're called the merchant banking system. So all of these are a concern to me. We talked briefly that I'm working on something called the stack, and the stack is intended to include all those things. So you see what they're doing is they want to create a whole, as I said, or as Meckler said, a complete tech ecosystem where, I just read an article today, as a matter of fact, by coincidence, about some banks being pressured now to stop servicing gun manufacturers. Even though gun ownership is protected by the Second Amendment, it's a legal product, but you have, and it's really, this could be a whole other vlog too, the Democrats won the White House, but they control the Senate and the House, but just barely, and probably only for, now less than 2 years, and then the Republicans will take over, but they seem to be drunk with power. They seem to think they have so much power, and now they're threatening people to deplatform websites, take conservatives off of Twitter, so on and so forth, and now for pressuring banks not to handle accounts for gun makers, or I would imagine the National Rifle Association, and who knows what's next. It's really disgusting. It is really wrong. I would hope that something could be done about this someday legally, because there is the Congress has control over interstate commerce. So I would think that any bank operating across a state line would be subject to regulation and would be told that they cannot. Could you imagine no bank accepting a bank account from, say, the NAACP? Could you imagine that? And that there would be no legislative solution? But gun makers or conservatives, we're all open game. So it is so wrong, and I hope something legally would be done someday, or that just gun manufacturers and conservatives would always be able to get a bank account. But if not, then we definitely need what Meckler is talking about, a backup system where conservatives and gun makers and all these unpopular people and companies and services can be, and platforms can be, or websites can have a place to go where they will be assured that they will never be taken off the internet, where they will always be able to take credit cards and so on and so forth. And I would like to be able to take right now a thumbs up if you like this video. Share it with anybody you think would also like the video. Got any comments? Comment section below the video where you can put questions, suggestions for future topics. You could subscribe. I love getting new subscribers. You could visit my music channel. I've got a link in the description to my music channel. And well, I just appreciate the time that you spend with me. I really do appreciate it, and I would like to see all of you again. I look forward to seeing all of you again, and until I do see all of you again, bye.